plus Jade Druid and said, let's get rid of Jade Druid. I'm going full anti-aggro. I'm going to feast here.
It's like the opposite to the strategy that we saw just a few moments ago. Complete anti-control lineup. It was fun to see Quest Rogue played again, I've got to admit. It's not something that we see much of nowadays.
Yes, yeah, I much prefer watching that to the Tempo Rogue deck, but that's not always the way it goes.
Tempo Rogue gets very, very strong though, as we'll see soon. First up though, it's going to be a Shaman Mirror.
That's
nope, that's a Druid. That's a Druid.
That's going to be pretty hard.
I mistook the Nourish for a Jade Claws for some reason there. Okay, all right. Rewind. It's going to be Evolved Shaman versus Jade Druid.
All right. So who do you like in this matchup and why? Which deck would you rather be playing?
It depends how fast you can go as the Shaman. I prefer the Shaman if you can go, you know, one into totems, like the Primordial Totem, or the Primal Fin Totem rather, into Bloodlust on 5. But the longer this game goes out, the more cards like Spreading Plague are going to cause big problems for the Shaman. I think it's also very important for the Shaman to get Thrall out relatively early, because then he can get 1 minion on the board, just keep evolving it, and actually have sustained value.
Sure. I mean, so if we just focus quickly on the start of this game, so Shy's had a pretty good start so far. He hits the Wild Growth on 2, which you always want to see, and then gets the Jade Spirit out. And on top of that, he does have some nice follow-up. He can Nourish next turn, get the Jade Idol out, and set up eventually for a quick Ultimate Infestation turn. Ungeo on the other side there has had a little bit of a worse opening, so the Firefly on 1's pretty good, but then having to Totem on 2 is something you never really want to see. But it is going to kind of work out here with the fact that he rolled the Spell Power, means he can clear off the board, but he's got one of the worst 1-drops you can generally get from Maelstrom if you're a Totem Shaman. Yeah,
Primal Fin Totem would have been great on 2, but Hero Power Totem not so much.
No.
And as you said, this makes Swipe horrible at any time now, if Shy was to have it.
Yeah.
Regardless, Shy is just going to play Nourish this turn, without any hesitation, I imagine.
Yeah, we're getting mana crystals every time here. And the interesting thing is you don't need to clear this board aggressively, because you can kind of make Ungeo have to play more into it. So if you do hit that swipe, it's just so much more devastating. So I really like what he did there in going into the Spell Power Totem rather than trying to clear off the 1/1. Do you remember the card's name? That Death Rattle 1/1? The Tentacle?
N'Zoth. Tentacle N'Zoth.
Yeah, Tentacle N'Zoth, that's it, yeah. As soon as I said tentacle, it twigged.
It really tested me there, but we got that. Shy getting the Ultimate Infestation on, well, not even turn 10 is going to be very, very good for him. It almost guarantees him a Spreading Plague. Just had to double check it was in the deck there, but yeah, it is. Because you just draw so many cards with the Ultimate Infestation, and then you can Spreading Plague. You get a bunch of 1/5s, which your opponent's 1/2 and 1/1, and cards like that are going to have to deal with. It's not easy for Ungeo. However, Devolve Bloodlust is a thing that can just beat Spreading Plague.
It is. Wow, okay, that is a great draw. So do we play it here?
Oh. Okay, no, can I opt to clear the board once? Sure. Okay, so the ability to do this with just a hero power does make that seem very appealing. You can wait for Ungeo to fill up the board a second time, then play Spreading Plague. And then if he deals with it, you can play it a third time as well.
I was just thinking, is that the reason why? Or is possibly Shy playing around Ungeo having some type of Evolve or the Death Knight?
Right.
Because the 4/1/1, the tokens being Death Knighted on that turn would have been quite bad.
There's that as well, right? You cannot let this board get out of control because it just takes one Evolve. I mean, regardless, it just takes one Doppelganger to play the board, to do horrible things anyway. But you don't want to give him even more tools to go out of control with.
Now, Shaman's in that really awkward position where they haven't been able to establish a dominant mid-game board, and the Druids actually developed more than them. So if you're in Ungeo's position, how do you actually work yourself back into the game from here? What cards do you need to see?
Oh, you need to go wide. So the Doppelgangster that I just mentioned before, to evolve now is the dream situation. Patches, not so much. Jade Lightning plus Jade Claws could be very helpful here, actually. You can deal with the 4/4 and the 3/4 quite nicely whilst creating a 3/3 and a 4/4 Jade Golem yourself. So you can kind of swing the tempo around that way. But Ultimate Infestation is going to be that one card that Ungeo is just hoping that Shy doesn't have. Yeah. Druids can just lose games by not drawing that card.
Yeah, the nice thing, I guess, going for Ungeo as well is he's played a lot of Jade cards early, so hitting a 4/4 and a 5/5 on turn 6 for Shaman is not very often that you see that, and he's got back on the board very quickly, but we can see the perfect play by Shy. Ultimate Infestation. Great player.
Perfect play when you've got 10 mana crystals on turn 6. I'll take it.
Yeah. you know what the best part about the Innovate nerf is?
Yeah.
This sounds really silly, but it's the fact that because there's no longer Innovate in your deck, you don't have to wait around to see what Ultimate Infestation draws. You can just hit end turn because you're never playing anything after it.
Yeah, that's probably not the most powerful change.
Yeah, no, but the fact that it saves me like 10 seconds every time I play Jade Druid, I love that so much.
Those 10 seconds, they add up. But there's a Doppelgangster Evolve. That 5/3 needs to die first, or it's going to start spawning 2/2s.
I mean, combo, we can spawn 2/2s and play Spreading Plague. What do you think about that? Great play or what?
Well, I mean, it would be fine if not for the fact that Devolve Bloodlust existed. Again, that is a combo that can just end the game at any time for the Shaman if he's got both cards.
All right, so it looks like he's considering the Malfurion here, given that it's an easy way of clearing that 5/3 off the board.
I like it. You can then also play Jade Idol. Oh, okay, it's fine. Spectator mode made it look like the sequencing was dodgy there, but it's fine. And the spiders, yeah, really nice. Jade Claws will deal with one. Patches plus Maelstrom will deal with the other.
We hit Spell Power Totem, though, every time. We play Shaman, we hit Spell Power. This is all we do.
JD, come on, man.
Maybe he doesn't play Shaman the way I play Shaman.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know something that we all don't. Mana Worm's not horrible, and Ungeo does clear the board this way. There's no spells in hand, so it's just a 1/3, right? Like that's pretty good stats for a Maelstrom Portal minion.
I mean, the thing is, you can get Bloodlust as well. It gets the extra attack off that, so it goes alright.
Extra attack can be lethal.
But do you like the value trade here? I think we take it every time.
Your whole game plan here as Ungeo is to keep this wide board as wide as possible. Those Jade Golems are getting bigger as well. You just contest this Druid for as long as you can and then draw Bloodlust and win.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. His Jades are bigger than Shai's at the moment.
Yeah.
That is one of the kind of crazy ways that Shaman can end up winning this game, is that they just end up being able to develop.
Well, the funny thing that Druids so often does is kind of waits until the end of the game before the Jade Golems get too big. Like eventually, when you've got 10 cards, maybe 5 cards left in the deck, then you play the Io and kind of go mad like that. Whereas the Shaman does it sooner with cards like Jade Claws and Jade Lightning.
Alright, that's a pretty poor totem there. The Searing Totem, you don't want the 1/1. You want something like a taunt.
Not against 1/5. Mana Tide will be helpful though.
That's alright. This is still a pretty good turn here. I mean, you would probably like to do something better than Mana Tide Totem, but you do get to start trading down. The fact you've got the Healing Totem on the board does mean you get to survive a little bit more here. But unfortunately, you haven't really developed that much more in terms of aggression. Like, you didn't get an extra Jade out, you didn't get a thing from below out. And it does mean Shai has a chance to answer now.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that Flamestone Totem is going to be really helpful next turn, but there's a Swipe, there's a Galaka Crawler to deal with the Corsair. Things are looking okay for Shai. He can stem most of the tide here with these tools.
Are we not swiping?
We're not swiping.
All right, so with the 3 attack, we can take out, the Mana Tide and the Priestess of the Loon.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, nice.
Good.
Arena gamer, by the way.
Yeah. This is a little bit sketchy because Devolve Bloodlust would be lethal. There's the Bloodlust. If that Flametongue Totem was to... Well, it wouldn't necessarily be lethal. Devolve can devolve into a taunt, but a lot of the time it would have been lethal.
You probably hit a taunt like, what, 20-30% of the time here off Devolve?
Yeah, that's true. But Jade Claws could deal with one. The Healing Totem could deal with one.
Yeah, that's true. It depends on the size of the taunt. Yeah, very good. Very good. All right, we said Mana Tide Totem, the plus attack off the Bloodlust. Perfect for clearing one of these Scarabs off the board.
Yeah. Where's that Flametongue Totem going?
We need to put it on the Healing Totem to clear off another one.
Never mind, the extra attack on the Mana Worm's not relevant. Totem
the Flame Totem, I mean,
pushes it over the edge.
Sure. So are we putting our...
So are we value trading, or are we sacrificing the Mana Worm? It looks like we're...
Oh, we're not sacrificing. You can use your attack instead. Yeah. Alright, this is a pretty bad situation now for Ungeo. He's out of cards, his board's really not that big, and we can see from Shai's perspective, not only has he got the board, but he's got the Swipe, he's got the Hero Power, and he's found another taunt, and he's got more Jades on top of that,
how many more ands can you say, JD?
I mean, we're kind of like a 10 mana turn for Jade Druid, so everything's an and, because we just keep going forever. We're the best.
Yeah, I mean, Ungeo's Healing Totem has done so much work. It really has. He's done well to get here, but unfortunately, the Spreading Plague, because of the lack of Devolve, wasn't able to quite get the job done. Bloodlust wasn't able to quite get the job done, and now Shy just comes back, and Ungeo runs out of steam. And when this deck runs out of steam, it's done.
I mean, after this turn, I don't see any reason why Ungeo stays in this game. It honestly doesn't matter what his next 2 cards are. Shy wins 100% of the time from here.
And this is what I was saying earlier. If he could have gotten that Death Knight hero nice and early, he could have evolved the board a bunch more, had a much bigger board, and also been evolving a minion every single turn.
Yep.
That's more value, and it makes it much more difficult for the Druid to actually clear the board. Happen,
we should just be conceding now, because we want to conceal information as well. Shy doesn't have our deck
That's
list,
true.
so we just want to concede.
I guess hero powering doesn't give anything away, right?
But seeing Shy's deck doesn't give away anything either.
No.
Because Shy's not playing this deck again.
No. This is Conquest, not Last Hero Standing, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, the only thing would be, like, say he plays Mind Control tech, then Ungeo has more of an idea that Shy's playing anti-aggro lists, and you might expect more anti-aggro tech cards in the other decks as well. That's maybe drawing a very long bow as to the advantages of making us cast these last 3 minutes.
Look, I gotta say it once. Over the course of this tournament, right?
Yeah.
Ungeo's waiting for Yogg-Saron. That's what's happening. Now, he doesn't run it. We can see the deck list. We know he doesn't run it. But... Oh, it's Thrall Deathseer. Okay. I don't know what he can get from this.
Nothing. He can get nothing. The game's over.
3 mana minions. Okay. Oh, 4 mana 7/7. Let's go. What a way to concede.
That's why he was holding out the game just to show us his meme potential.
that was some meme potential, but congratulations to the Druids. Gonna take the first win. And yeah, that's not too surprising. Druid is still a strong deck.
Yeah, very much so, very much so. And being piloted by a very strong player in Shy as well. He's actually had a couple of very big performances last year. He won the Thailand Major last year. He won that one in 2016. And I think for WSG APAC, he was the runner-up for that as well. So a very well-known player. He's actually the only person left in the tournament that is not from Korea, not a Korean native. He's from Hong Kong. So it's good to see him putting forward strong performances. Hopefully keeps on going deep. So
well, he's got a lot to play for then, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, he's got a bit of reputation online.
It's going to be tricky because all the locals here, especially the locals that will be watching us in the finals tomorrow, they're not going to want to see Shy win. They're going to want to see all the Korean
most
players
definitely not. And actually, Shy, talking to him beforehand in the interviews, Shy was saying that playing in Korea is, I guess, like very intimidating, very unnerving, because sometimes you go to maybe some of these other open bracket tournaments where you have 512 people coming in, and a lot of them aren't very good. But he said almost every Korean Hearthstone player plays very, very well. So you can't let your guard down. You can't not focus on any individual game because all of them may be ready to beat you at any given notice.
It all adds up, doesn't it? Even just playing in an unfamiliar territory.
Yes.
It does make things tricky. As we jump into game number 2, Ungeo now on the Hunter, and he's got Deathstalker Rexar in hand. That could be huge for clearing a Shaman board on turn 6.
Yeah, it could be, absolutely. It's a very interesting card to see how it's played out because Hunter players have been crying for AoE or some type of control Hunter card, and so seeing Deathstalker Rexar come into play is awesome. I really feel like it helps build out that archetype and moves Hunter, I guess, a little bit away from aggro, which is so often what we see it play. Now, one thing to mention on Ungeo and Hunter, it's his favorite class, and he's like really proud to bring this deck because he built this deck personally. He was saying the other decks that he's brought to this tournament, more or less like lists that he's copied from other pros that he's seen in tournaments, stuff like that. But he built this Hunter list himself from the ground up. So yeah, he's be interesting to see how he pilots it, if he plays a little bit differently, and if he's able to perform with it.
It's not the easiest matchup for the Hunter, this one. He's probably going to have to play Rexar fairly early in this match and just rely on his zombies to win the game for him, because the Shaman has the potential to go very wide and just win with the Bloodlust. And the Hunter usually finds it quite difficult to keep up with the Shaman's board, and this hand isn't helping Ungeo at the moment. He doesn't look like he's going to have a minion to play Houndmaster on turn 4.
Yeah, that always hurts. The interesting thing, obviously, for Ungeo is timing that Deathstalker Rexar can be very important as well, because Shaman is basically the most susceptible class to a 2 damage AoE. when to get the most value out of that versus like you just need to play it and start
only
getting
got
beasts yourself.
right?
Like it's really important to time that correctly. And I guess from Shai's perspective, maybe not play into too much, but you know, how much do you play around the 6 mana legend in Hunter?
There's a lot of layers to playing the Deathstalker Rexar because it dramatically changes the way that the game works once you've played it.
Yep.
Your whole strategy has to change. There will be some games where the Hunter can actually win on sheer damage alone, and in which case, Ungeo wouldn't want to play Deathstalker Rexar at all. But this is not one of those games. We can see that from how weak the start has been. The dream is that Shai ends up playing a Doppelgangster and just leaving that on the board, which does happen sometimes. And then you can clear Doppelgangster with Deathstalker Rexar. Doesn't happen often, though.
Now, one thing worth mentioning, that was a really cool turn by Shai there. Obviously, he had the fiery bat that he could trade into, slash, you know, maybe hit face, use the weapon and hope the 50-50 doesn't hit, but decides to trade it in, keep the Jade Claws equipped, which is great, and then reload the board with the Fireflies, given the fact that, you know, Ungeo is holding the weapon in his hand, being able to ensure that he has a minion on board for next turn, given his Shaman. Yeah, just really like the way he played that out.
Yeah. And now Shai's hand's not looking too hot.
No, I mean, it's not great, but he does have plays here. I guess like maybe it's worth talking through here. So we never devolve. Playing another Jade Claws is probably worthwhile. So we could consider hitting in with one of the minions and playing Jade Claws.
And then just Hero Power.
And then we have a choice between Crawler and Hero Power. But if we want to play Thing from Below next turn and then we're playing Jade's Claws this turn, we'd have to Hero Power.
Now, most Hunters nowadays that I've seen are running the Pirate package. This one is not.
Yeah, that's right.
So, does Shai hold on to Galactic Crawler and hope to hit a pirate?
So he's probably almost definitely holding onto it because he thinks Ungeo's playing Pirates because it's Hunter. And that's probably why we didn't see him put it on the board last turn, even though we probably might have, given that we've got better information on deck lists. So interesting to see how that deck that he felt he built is playing out because maybe it's making Shai hold on to cards that he wouldn't otherwise hold on to. Next turn gonna have to be Deathstalker Rexar. Just because Ungeo has nothing else to do. I mean, his hand's so bad, you're playing it out. And the problem is, right, Shai, you know, like a Hero Power, Thing from Below, trade in a couple of bits here, like, it's a pretty strong turn. And unfortunately, the Deathstalker Rexar doesn't kill a Thing from Below. That said, we're holding onto weapons still, so that works. Yeah, you're right. Rexar plus the Eaglehorn Bow will get rid of it. Yeah, I guess you just play it and deal with this board. It sucks because you're then allowing Shai to get the initiative again. You play Rexar and then you pass, and the next turn, if you're building a beast, that's 2 mana. That's alright. Deadly Shot not the best draw. It's okay against Eaglehorn Bow. Actually, against Thing from Below, I mean. Yeah, Deadly Shot is probably going to get some work done this game. It's interesting, very interesting. Alright. Look at that. Totem, Thing from Below, let's go. Yep. We're back on the board, 4 minions. Easy as that. We're playing Charmin. Deadly Shot going to struggle to hit exactly what it wants to hit now. I guess a cheap beast means the kill command becomes a play this turn, then you can bow down the Primal Fin Totem. That is a cheap enough beast. That will do it. Do we ever consider just like... So if we play Animal Companion here, we might Houndmaster. If we hit Puffer... We can Houndmaster now, I guess. No. Oh, okay. This actually is much better because he can get a free trade in here and basically clean up the board with the Hover online. And keep the weapon as well. Yeah. No. You use the weapon here. You want to clear everything? Yeah, I think we try and clear as much as we can. Jade Claws are still going to deal with the Hover, but I guess that's not the end of the world. Shai doesn't have that many tools left in his hand. Ungeo's not going to like the fact that there's another Thing from Below. That's going to... Gonna put a bit of a dampener on his day, I think, at this point. Got everything coming out here, why not? Yeah, back to 4 minion board right now. Not a great situation. Time to get some good beasts. Yeah, I think just start this turn by building a beast. What do you even want here, though? These cards are entirely useless. So the Emerald Reaver's at least cheap. No, we probably want the 1/1s though, right? Oh, we could, if we took the... Oh, we don't know which one we took. Panther's pretty good with anything you took, right? Yes, it is. Boar would allow him to obviously kill the Taunt Totem, which
isn't hugely relevant. Wind Fury doesn't do anything. Okay, so we take the 5.
Yeah, so I like that one to pick off the start, and then putting it with the charge definitely makes it you have to play something this turn.
Yeah.
The other option would be if he had selected the Emerald Reaver, then maybe you take the Panther to ensure that you get the stealth minion so you can Houndmaster next turn. But I think that's a much better outcome.
Yeah. It was a better outcome. It hasn't worked out. Ungeo's
second Houndmaster, and we're gonna get Norshire Cleric.
No.
Can you imagine being Ungeo, right? You saw the tentacle in the Zoth when you Maelstrom portaled, and Shire's like, yeah, Norshire Cleric, buddy. Don't worry about it.
That's just not fair.
Yeah, it's not really. And this is as good as done. I mean, we've talked about the fact that Hunter doesn't really have AoE. We've seen.
There's the bloat bat, right?
The what?
Is it exploding bloat bat? Fiery bloat bat?
Oh, the bat.
What's it called?
You're rolling for bat here. Isn't it just like
bloat bat? Bloat bat charge the combo. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Because you can get Stone Test Boar and the bloat bat.
That's true. That's true.
5 mana board clear.
We hit no charge and we didn't hit the bat.
We didn't hit either of them. But Raven is a huge Hunter enthusiast. He talks about bloat bat combo all the time. He's like, yeah.
And he calls it the blowback combo.
The bloat bat combo, yeah. Because they were casting a series once, and he said bloat bat combo, and Soto was like, excuse me, the blowback combo? Yeah. So they've had the same conversation that we just had, pretty much.
He hurts intellects across multiple casts. Classic Raven.
Yeah. So Evolve is a card you can play to just lose the game here if you're shy. You can evolve into a Doomsayer and lose everything that you hold dear right now. I don't think you do it. I think you just clear up that 4/3.
Wait. So don't we? I think we do.
No way.
You hit Doomsayer a pretty low period of time. Think about it. So if we trade in 2 minions now and we're not evolving, we haven't got much on the board. We haven't got a way to win the game. And you are giving Ungeo more time to actually hit stuff. Like, I don't hate Evolve here.
All right, he's going to do it.
I don't think you're far enough ahead to not Evolve.
All right, okay, we're good. We're good.
So now you guaranteed the win.
There's always that worry, and you're right, it does guarantee him the win. But obviously the argument is, if you're winning anyway, you never evolve in that position. But as you said, maybe he wasn't winning anyway. But now he is.
And like, isn't it only like a 1 in 90 chance to hit Doomsayer per minion?
It's not high.
Like per 1 mana minion?
It's not high, but it's high enough, you know? You don't want to lose the game to that. You just don't.
Yeah. Yeah, but isn't it better to be lucky than good?
Sure. I'll go with that.
Actually, that Ungeo before the game was saying, like, what type of player is he most afraid to play against? And his answer was lucky players. He doesn't want to play against lucky players.
None of us do, yet we somehow always find a way.
I mean, it's just a confirmation bias, right? Everyone else is luckier than we are.
Okay, well, if that evolve wasn't enough, then Thral Deathseer will be.
Well, we're just chalking up style points now, right?
14 damage on board. I guess you do it. You just make some.
So, are we devolving this turn as well?
I think you'd play everything. I think you devolve. You clear up the board.
If we're devolving, then we devolve before we attack in because we might want to get value trades.
Of course.
Okay.
Well, if we're devolving, the most important thing to devolve is the owl. Looks like we're not going to devolve. In that case, we're going to hero power, Thral hero power. It just doesn't matter. This board's the Hunter never deals with this board.
I mean, it kind of matters. I guess from Shai's perspective, he's holding on to devolve because if Ungeo does hit the bloat bat
combo.
I thought you were saying blowback, like.
See, exactly what Soto said to Raven.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Even bloatback doesn't make much more sense, really. But yeah, he's holding on to devolve for that situation where something does come down like that he needs to respect, and his board's so crazy that it kind of... Yeah.
He can't evolve Sogoth the Slitherer into a 10-drop. What a disaster.
Shame. I don't know. How will he ever live with himself? So do you reckon we try and swing a deadly shot this turn? Bear Shark's good. We like Bear Sharks. Can't be targeted by like a Jade Lightning.
I guess Staggadon's fine.
Oh, yeah. It's a 6/9 taunt. It's
better than Sogoth the Slitherer.
Yeah. Eat that. That's a really cool minion.
And, including the hero power, it costs 9 mana in total.
But
so
guess what Shai's?
Strictly better.
Guess what Shai's got?
Devolve.
Just guess what he's got. It's a pretty good card, too.
It's just strictly better. 6/9 for 9 mana, including the hero power that created it.
Yeah. Sure. Shai's being very diligent about like holding onto this devolve. Very diligent. Very restrained.
Get him, boys! There's Doppelgangster finally making an appearance.
So we see one of the interesting cards that Ungeo has actually brought in this Hunter lineup, which is the Leroy Jenkins, something to be aware of for future games if he does queue it back up again.
Yeah, definitely not one that he wanted to reveal to Shy.
No.
Before conceding there, Shy takes the second win of the series. This could be over very, very quickly. He only needs to get a win now with his Rogue.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of opportunities for him to do it. I mean, Rogue maybe is going to be one of the harder decks for him to get a win of what he brought, but he's going to be going against the Hunter. That's one that I'd probably take the Hunter favored over the Rogue.
That's a close one, and the Rogue obviously can't run a Galactic Crawler. So
that's true. That's true.
It's close.
I mean, you can kind of high roll, but in general, I feel like Hunter wins that matchup. Then you've got the Rogue Mirror, and obviously, at worst, you're really a 50-50 there, maybe a 55-45, depending on how the tech's brought. And then the Shaman deck, which we've already seen as well. So I feel like while Rogue doesn't necessarily have a clear win against any of those, it is teched anti-aggro, so it can maybe get a few % edge on those decks. And he does have 3 games to get a win here. So Shy should find a way to win and close out this series from here.
Just to clarify, both Rogues are running Prince Keleseth. There's no surprise there. And that's something that should be noted as well. Shy, if Shy gets a game where he draws Keleseth and Shadow Step in his opening hand, he probably just wins it.
Yeah.
So he can just win against almost any matchup by doing that. Let's take a look at this opening hand. Leroy on the Rogue side as well.
I mean, we're seeing a much nicer hand here for Ungeo, which is a good thing to see. He's got the 1 and 2 drop here. And I mean, you could even debate keeping Houndmaster here, but I guess in his perspective against Rogue, you think we're going to never let a minion stay on board.
You
so
definitely throw the Deathstalker Rexar. This is not a matchup.
Ooh, Shy.
This is not a matchup where the Hunter's trying to win with Rexar. He wants to win by sheer damage alone.
I don't want to call games too early, but this one's this one's done.
Patches in opening hand is not helpful for Shy. Ungeo has the Galactic Crawler as well, which he can point out now if he wants to summon a Totem Golem.
We just put it out now.
It's just a Totem.
Every time we put
Totem Golem, no overload, kill a minion at the same time. I'll take it.
I mean, it's just so important because Shy has no way of killing that thing on turn 2.
Nope.
If you're running Keleseth, it means you don't have like prep of this or anything like that. No way of killing it. So Ungeo's getting in at least probably 6 damage now off that, plus preventing the 1. And given that Hunter does have that inevitability against Rogue, where if you just go face enough times, you win no matter what, like, love it.
Ungeo won't be 100% sure on exactly what this deck will be. There are still Miracle Rogues that do appear sometimes that run SI7 agents and Swashbucklers. These deck lists are not open. Again, we know them. The players can change decks in between games, but the players don't know each other's exact deck lists. It's only their class.
Yeah, sorry, when one thing to clarify, when you say in between games, you mean in between matches, series.
Sorry,
yeah. So it's not like...
it's not that crazy.
Shy's like, just before that one started, just swapped out a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, there's Deathstalker Rexar again. I don't think that Ungeo's going to want to play it unless he's forced to by a wide board that it can clear.
But I think we play Scavenging Hyena, we play the Fiery Bat, we trade our Eaglehorn Bow into the Direwolf Stalker, I want to say its name is.
No, it's Infested Wolf.
Infested Wolf. Not even close.
Thought you were an arena player, JJ.
Yeah.
Come on.
Well, that card's way too valuable to be drafted enough. And we get our boost on the Hyenas. This is a pretty scary board now if you're in Shy's boots.
Yeah, he's got the Captain, he's got the Patches, he's got the Cold Blood, though that doesn't really add up to that much.
At least with the Captain and the Patches, we can get the clear on the Hyena, which is the biggest problem we've got with this board.
He can, and then he's got a 3/3 that the Wolf just trades into. His 1/1 can kill the Fiery Bat, I guess. Well, no, the 1/1 clears the 4/3. The weapon clears the Fiery Bat because he takes less damage that way.
Well, so we've got another way we can do things, right? If we Cold Blood the 1/1 put it into the Hyena, we then weapon into the Fiery Bat, and then we play Captain Patches.
Yep.
And hit the 3/2. We can leave it on board and.
If he is doing that, though, he wanted to play the Cold Blood before dropping any other minions, obviously, so...
No, it does matter. This ordering's not as good, because the problem is now the Fiery Bat can hit the Captain.
Yeah.
Where before you guaranteed the face.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. You're right. And that extra damage on the Captain could have been hugely relevant.
Yeah, especially going into turn 6 where Rexar can kill off a 3/2. All right, that's a pretty good draw. We take that. And this is probably going to force Ungeo to actually trade into it with the Hydra if he didn't have Kill Command.
Yeah. This is...
Oh, this is a crazy turn.
Oh, no Galactic Crawler clearing a 6-3 South Sea Captain. Shy was sitting there thinking, this is great. I'm guaranteed to hit something with Bone Mare next turn, but nope.
I'm back in it. I've got a chance, guys.
Does he just have to...
Yeah, you just concede. There's no way.
Well, he can do this, right? He gets the big-ish Edwin.
The 6/6 that can't even kill the... Like, so you're taking guaranteed 13 damage next turn.
Look, here's the plan, okay?
And then it's 1 hero power away.
Yeah, here's the plan. The next draw is Swashbuckler into Deathstalker Rexar. Here's the plan, okay?
Okay.
Yeah,
and how does that help at all?
The plan is dead. The plan is dead. The dream
Your plan wasn't even good. You still lose.
Ungeo takes his first win of the series with his Hunter. The class, which as you were saying, people were saying it's just a dead class. Clearly not today. He did just lose a game with it first, but he's got the win. That's the important part.
I mean, that is one of the most favorable matchups Hunter has, though, on paper.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot. The problem with Hunter is there's a lot of things that can queue into that it just don't work out that well for it. But in that situation, hey, played perfectly, and he has at least got a win on the board now, so it won't be clean swept. And now has the choice of either queuing his own rogue in or rerunning the Shaman that we saw earlier. If you're in his shoes, what deck do you run and why?
Well, it doesn't really matter, right?
It does matter. Psychological edge.
You think it does matter?
You play the deck with the highest chance to win. Because if you lose, you're out of the series, right? So you give it all, and you want to play the deck that gives you the highest chance of winning now, and then at least you put the worry into your opponent's head that I might get reverse swept.
There's also an information thing, I guess. Like, if you play the... Well, oh, no, there's not. No. There's not an information thing.
So, okay, so let me rephrase my question before we went on this tangent.
Which deck has the higher win chance?
Yeah, do you think has the higher win chance? Do you think it's the Token Shaman or do you think it's the Rogue Mirror?
I think I go with the Mirror. I just think the Rogue deck is just better than the Shaman at the moment. Do you prefer the Shaman?
I mean, I don't really like playing either of these decks in this matchup. I would take... Yeah, let's go the Mirror. Let's like beat him with confidence. We take the Mirror, we win with the Mirror. It's like, yeah, I'm better at Rogue than you, so I can also do it with Shaman. I just think
that this tempo Rogue deck, regardless of what you think of it, I think it's become one of the strongest decks in the last couple of weeks since the nerf. And I think it's favored against most things. Shaman can really straight. It's just so good at aggressively getting the board. It's got the Fast Spine Slayer here, which can clear up everything, no matter how big it is.
I don't think it's favored against most things. I think it can beat most things, though, because of the high roll potential.
Okay.
Kellis just gives it that chance. Like, you hit it on 2, and then so many matchups that are unfavored all of a sudden look pretty good.
Right. There you go. Patches in Ungeo's hand this time.
Hey, that's a bit of return serve. We saw it. Chai drew it last turn, so... Ungeo gets a go at it this turn.
Shai's got a pretty good start here. No Kelliseth, but you know, this into Tar Creeper seems fine. If Shai draws Edwin Van Cleef now, the game just ends. Coin, backstab. Oh,
not really.
Well,
Devolve is like a real threat.
There's no Devolve there.
Yeah, but you got perfect information. He doesn't.
No,
and there's top decks. I mean, you always hit it. Like, you won't hit it now because obviously he didn't play.
Right, okay,
Edwin.
that's how
But
it
if he
works,
had played Edwin, then like Devolve comes out 100% of the time.
It was something like a 12-12 Edwin though. When you shadow step the patches as well.
Yeah, it gets pretty crazy, doesn't it?
But the question is, how all in would you go? Because as you said, we have perfect information. He doesn't. Maybe if he did draw Edwin, he wouldn't have played all of the cards. Or maybe you do. Maybe you say, hey, there's only 2 Devolves in the deck at the most. Go for it. If he doesn't have them, he loses.
Yeah.
Either way, no Edwin present. Double Cobalt Scalebane is huge for Shai here.
I mean, what's even huger is the fact that Ungeo doesn't have a turn 4. Like, there's nothing here. He
does now. Now he has Think from Below. It's just a bit late.
Yeah.
It cost 5 at the start of this turn.
You don't want to play Flame Tongue out because it's just way too vulnerable. You just never play out.
Even Patches is valuable with Bloodlust and with Flame Tongue Totem, so you can't just drop it to have it killed by a Tar Creeper.
Wow, that's really, really bad turn. And then Shai here has got the easy coin Scalebane with
so
the Tar Creeper. This is delicious.
Tar Creeper becoming a 4/4 at the end of this turn. Obviously a 6/4 on his opponent's turn. Sorry, a 5/4. No, yeah. Yes, I was right. I was right. Maths, JD, maths.
Just never doubt yourself. You have that confidence, you would have never been wrong.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm always right the first time. I wish that were true.
All right, so Ungeo finally has at least a little bit of a better turn here, but the problem is quite far behind, so Shai he's got multiple ways of clearing this out, really, and then he can, even do something like put another Cobalt on the board. if you do something like backstab, chuck your Tar Creeper in, play the other Kobold, and they're stacking on each other.
Right.
There's a little bit of a crazy party going on right
it's
there.
Nuts, yeah. This is where Ungeo needs the devolve. Like, forget Edwin.
Yeah.
I want to devolve this board.
Yeah. Or, you know, Doppelganger Evolve is maybe the only other thing that will really get you back into this type of situation. The problem is you're staring down lethal, or like lethal in this turn or next turn, given that your opponent's now got 16 on board plus hero power to come.
Oh, wow.
And then given the fact they run stuff like Cold Bloods now, the chance that you hit it is just,
Ungeo has some taunts. So
that's pretty important. Oh, and this is like all right now because he can actually play the Flame Tongue as well, which means he'll get to put a little bit of damage on them, given that both backstabs are gone. There's no other way of clearing these out. So he will get to, at least in his mind, get to at least put a bit of damage on them.
Look at the damage in Shy's hand though. On turn 10, that is 20 damage.
Yeah, are we shadow? We're shadow stepping one of these to heal back up.
I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is nice. And we can just hero power and hit in. And then next turn we've got 14 from hand. So all we need is one of these Scalebanes to survive and no taunts.
That's way stronger than saving the shadow step for the Leroy.
Yeah. All right. So Ungeo has at least one way of clearing clearing one of the Scalebanes here.
Yeah, he's got a patches.
He's got a patches.
That's something.
And not the kind of way you want it. And you can also clear out the weapon charge with the Corsair, not that you really want to do that.
I think the realistic play here is that you just play patches and play Io, and then
hope that you're okay. Yeah.
because he's gonna Bloodlust to clear everything.
This is a good read here that he really needs to clear the board. Yeah.
You're right. This is good because then you drop the Bloodsuck Corsair as you said, you deal with the weapon. Now Shy potentially has nothing that we can see.
Ooh, the burglar coming out. Will be fun today. Volcano.
Okay. Swashbuckler's trying to avoid the volcano there by just chilling out the side.
He's aware.
Yeah.
Very aware. It's actually kind of cool. You get to see his artwork up close. And he's got a stellar beard. Man after my own heart.
Oh, there you go. Ungeo now taking his opportunity to create a big board. The Leroy double Cold Blood is 14 damage, 15 with the dagger. Shadow Step is actually less damage this turn, but soon.
So we Volcano here, and then turn 10 it's
20 damage.
We're off the overload, and your combo is back in play all of a sudden. So yeah, we definitely Volcano here, right?
No, you can hit face this turn, dagger up again. Next turn, Leroy Shadow Step Cold Blood weapon is lethal.
Yes, yep,
but you're relying on Ungeo not getting a Taunt Totem if you make that play.
You're actually relying on him not having Bloodlust either, right?
We have already seen one, but you're right.
But the way he played that one in that situation might make Shy think
he's doing it. He can. No. Yeah, he's doing it.
And this telegraphs what's happening, right? Surely this says I've got lethal.
I think it does, yeah. So Ungeo has to totem up, and if he doesn't get a Taunt Totem, then he has to play Throw. The throw gets him armor anyway.
What, sorry?
The throw gets him armor anyway.
Yes, yeah, it does.
So it pulls him out of range. So no real need to push for a Taunt Totem. This just works.
But this does work, like holding on to his power so he can boost maybe a worse minion. Or roll one that has a chance, a higher chance of getting taunt.
Oh!
That's probably game, right?
Oh, that's a nasty taunt to hit. And there was me thinking that the rogue was going to take it any moment now. This volcano just isn't good enough.
Yeah.
But by a long shot.
I mean, even if you could direct it perfectly, you still aren't going to get enough work done.
I don't think it kills a single minion.
No, I'm saying even if you could direct it perfectly.
Right.
Like if you could direct the 15 perfectly, it's just not going to be enough work.
But in real terms, I just think it deals 2 damages to everything and that's it.
Yeah.
And then one more to well, that's unfortunate for Shy as Ungeo does begin his reverse sweep. He gets the win with the Shaman as you predicted, and now it's down to the Rogue Mirror.
Yeah, I mean, you say begin, but he's well on his way. He's just one win away now from reversing the sweep and winning this series.
It's funny how quickly that can happen.
Yeah, really quickly. Both the players have been playing quick, the games have been going quick, the decks have been fast because we haven't seen Highlander Priest at all, so makes for some fast games.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. We've seen one in the first series with me and Lothar, and it won its game by turn 10. So it didn't take long either. These have been some very fast games, and still, I don't think I've seen the rope once.
Yeah.
These Korean players, they know what play they want to make, and they make it.
I guess it comes back to what I was saying to you before. Like, don't doubt your judgment. Go with what you think the first time is the right call. And for a lot of these guys, it's working out pretty well. We've seen some pretty good play despite how quick the players have been going so far.
Yeah. Well, we are just hopping in to game number 5 of this series right now. It's going to be the Rogue Mirror match. Now, there are a few differences between these deck lists.
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Yeah, the mulligan is interesting, but yeah.
Ungeo's runs the Curator package. He runs Vicious Fledgling. Obviously, the Cobalt Scalebane is the dragon.
Yeah, so that's the list we'd attribute to Kranich. I think Kranich made that popular by hitting rank 1 with Curator, so this might be a slight variation. I can't remember the exact list.
Codlight Oracle is the Murloc.
I feel like a Kranich attribution is pretty good.
Did you want to say something about the show?
Oh yeah, so like kind of really interesting in the sense that Ungeo had like a pretty good historical rogue hand in the sense that you had like Swashbuckler, Backstab, the SI agent, and no patches. Like that's generally a pretty good hand. But the fact that you've got both players playing Kel'Thas makes you like question like, wait, how badly do I need that to win this game? Should I be throwing things to try and hit that? Like it's I guess it just makes a really interesting.
But then you get punished if you draw the patches because you're throwing out a great hand and you end up with it's a tricky one. Let me see what Shy is running that Ungeo is not. Obviously, there's no Fledgling in Shy's deck.
Yeah, so I think Shy's running some of the anti-aggro, right? So he's got. Oh wait, he doesn't have crawlers on this list. This is one of the lists where he doesn't have crawlers, right? Because of course, he's got Kel'Thas.
So Ungeo's not running Leroy. Ungeo's only running 1 Bone Mat.
Yeah, I think he's got extra Tar Creeper maybe. He has an extra South Sea Captain. He runs Shaku instead, which isn't common. So, yeah. Oh, and Ungeo is also running Cold Like Oracle. Obviously, Shy isn't running, which you can see based on hands. So.
Right.
But yeah, this is, I guess, quite an interesting matchup, and it'll be interesting to hear your thoughts on this, Dan, because given that neither player has drawn Kel'Thas or Van Cleef, which is like the two kind of like ways to high roll this game early.
Right.
How is this game going to be decided from here on out? What kind of cards do the players need to hit to win?
I was about to just say how strong the Cobalt Scalebane on turn 4 hitting the Tar Creeper would be.
Yeah.
But Ungeo is not going to let that happen again. The Deadly Poison is not one we see often at all either. But it combos very well with the SI7 agent. And there's a thing. Oh, it's not in the deck list. It came from the Swash, right?
What?
The Deadly Poison.
Yes, it would have. Yeah.
It did the trick. Doesn't matter where it came from. It did the trick.
Yeah, actually, it's a surprisingly like useful card to hit in this matchup.
Yeah. One of the better cards to Shadow Step is actually the Valspine Slayer as well. If you hit even a Cobalt Scalebane with that, even a Naga Corsair with that, you're feeling pretty good. Especially if you hit a minion that's been buffed by Bone Mare, or if you can clear the board entirely so that Bone Mare can't even buff anything. Because one of the things that I found about this mirror match is that oftentimes the first player that can play a Bone Mare and buff something with it is the guy that wins the matchup.
Sure.
Obviously, if this Fledgling doesn't die, then that's a problem for Shy.
Yeah, so I really like getting the Fledgling down that turn because it's just kind of hard for a rogue to answer that.
Gonna be Valspine Slayer, just get rid of it.
Yeah. With that said, I mean, it's not that bad for Ungeo because Valspine Slayer is like definitely one of the higher value cards that Rogue runs in this matchup.
Yep.
So to use it only on a 3-mana minion is like maybe a little bit lower than what's expected, but tempo is just so important in this matchup. Being able to go face, especially given both guys are running Leroy.
Tempo is so important that this is happening.
Yeah.
Valspine Slayer is eating up a Valspine Slayer. And I agree, I think it's the right play. As you said, tempo is so important. And it's turn 7 next turn, which means Ungeo could pick up a Bone Mare and just outright win the game that way if Shy doesn't deal with this. And I think Shy's going to want to try and deal with this.
Bone Baron's a pretty interesting draw.
Bone Baron gives Shy 1/1 skeletons.
Yeah, that's right. And they're actually very useful in this matchup because you can kind of do the get 1/1 and then on turn 8 put them down with the Bone Mare if you're behind.
Sure. Or like put them down with an Edwin. Like they're combo activators.
Yes, yeah.
So
they work well. Now Ungeo hits a very good draw for turn 7. He has found his own Bone Mare with a minion on board.
Well, there we go. That's exactly what I said he wanted.
This is the position you want to be in.
And that's it. You end up with a 7-8 taunt as well as your 5-5. That's the nuts thing about Bone Mare. It's not just the buff. It's the fact that it also has a 5-5 body of its own. Clears up everything. How does Shy get rid of this board?
Yeah, with great difficulty.
Prince Keleseth is a little bit too late here.
Yeah. I mean, do we probably still play it this turn? What else have we got going? You don't Leroy into the Valspine, so...
You just put up your own big board and see what happens, yeah.
And the nice thing about Keleseth is that it does make a 5 attack minion, so the Bone Mare can't get a value trade on it either.
This harkens back to the turn 3 Vicious Fledgling, though, or the turn 4 Vicious Fledgling, because if that didn't eat up the Valspine Slayer, Shy would have been able to use Valspine Slayer to deal with one of these minions really nicely, but unfortunately for him, he had to use it up on a 3-drop. And now this has happened.
Exactly. And like the draws in this game have been really interesting. We've now hit Curator, so I feel like Ungeo, every time he's kind of running out of steam, he's managed to hit the Bone Mare, then he's hit the Curator at turn 7 and 8, like perfect timing.
To what extent does Ungeo just push face here?
Like 100% of the time, I think.
Because like you've got Cold Blood as well. He's going to Shadow Step. Wow. So he can play everything except the...
Okay. Yeah, no, I like this. And then you Cold Blood the Bone Mare and you push another 9 to face. So it requires an answer.
At first, when he was playing the Shadow Step, I was wondering if he was going to Shadow Step the Bone Mare and then play that again to buff up the Valspine more and deal more damage.
It's what most people think of, but I like this much better.
He's got the Cold Light Oracle to restock his hand and try and draw into a little bit more damage if he needs to push. Although Ungeo's not running the Leroy... Oh no, sorry, he is running Leroy Jenkins. Both are, so he can just draw that.
This is the turn I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The skeleton's really useful if you're behind to, get the Bone Mare buff off, get you back in it. And now Ungeo's in a little bit of a tricky position, except, hey, guess what we found?
He was in a tricky position.
We found Valspine. We keep going face, and...
He can bounce Valspine. Like, Shadow Step without Valspine would have done it.
We don't bounce it, though. We just go face here because now we hit with a dagger as well, and actually, regardless, we can now lethal next turn with SI.
With the SI 7
as long as we
agent.
pick up anything that costs less than 7.
Yep, and as long as Shy doesn't have any way of healing, which he shouldn't.
No. Or lethaling.
Or lethaling.
Which you could. You could hit lethal.
You could, it's not easy though.
Yeah.
You have to get 17 from the hand. So
I think you just need Leroy, Cold Blood, and Shadow Step.
Yeah. And Dagger.
Do you need Dagger? No? Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Actually, you do. Yeah, so there's no way. You're right.
Settle the shit.
Okay, so Ungeo needs to find anything playable under 7 mana. What can we do?
Most of his deck, right?
Yes.
Like, I think Bone Mare is the only,
second Bone Mare,
7 mana card, and there's only one Bone Mare in his deck.
Wow.
So his whole deck would have done it. And there you go. Ungeo going to take the series, knocking out the only non-Korean player here at the Korea Major. So sad news for Shy, and I believe he said Hong Kong, but really, really good for the Koreans.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked. Actually, I shouldn't say kind of shocked. I'm really shocked. Shy brought a lineup that should have won that. He was up 2-0 in the series, and it was Rogue, the Rogue deck that can high roll, had 3 chances to win and just couldn't get there. And I guess this is part of the problem that you have with bringing Kelsa. Sometimes you just don't high roll it.
I am shocked because I've only seen the Rogue do amazing things recently. Maybe I've got a little bit of confirmation bias in the performances that I've seen. But wow, sad for Shy in